I normally read in the train, and I haven't had reason to take the train on a regular basis, like every day, like I used to do for work, um, in a long time. And so I've been missing out on my reading. I cannot read when I'm at home, it's really hard. So I've been missing out on my reading, and I incorporated reading short articles so that I can, keep the skill and the love of reading going. Reading is a transportation for me. It takes me somewhere else. It teaches me something. It gives me new perspective and enlightenment, and I need that. And so I started reading short articles randomly on the internet. I started reading articles from the New York Times. So I don't subscribe. You can have like a free account with them, and that's what I have. Even though I'm thinking I'm going to subscribe because it's $1 a week. There's a special that it's $1 a week for a year. So I might do that to see what I can access that I don't have access to already. And it's more than just news. It's perspective and opinion as well. So I've chosen this old advice column called The Sweet Spot from the New York Times. I keep making out with the father of the kids I babysit, and I can't seem to quit him or them. Help. I'm a woman in my late 20s, and for the past 2 years, I've been babysitting for a family. 2 years ago, I began having a strange kind of affair with the father of the children, who is 13 years older than me. By strange, quote unquote, I mean we make out about once a week. It's insanely hot. We kiss, our hands wander, clothes gets pushed aside, and then after about 10 minutes, he abruptly stops and says he has to go. He also comes to my apartment after work sometimes, but again, only to make out briefly, nothing more. It's torture. I've ended this thing many times and he always agrees with me, but we soon find ourselves making out again. I'm becoming someone I don't like. I can't stand what I could be doing to the children. If this comes out, I ruin their lives. I'm jealous of his wife, who has been nothing but kind to me. I know where they keep their condoms, and I count them obsessively to know if they've had sex. I've considered telling his wife about the affair, reasoning that she deserves to know, but my true intention is that I want to hurt him like he's hurt me. He uses me like a toy he plays with, then sets aside. I know I should find another job, but I truly love the children and I can't imagine not seeing them. Yet ending things while still working for him has proved to be impossible. I'm scared that I love him. I've dated other people during the course of our affair, but no one makes me feel the way the dad does. Where do I find the strength to leave the situation? I feel sick and hopeless. Why can't I seem to quit? Haven't hit my breaking point. Okay, so the Sugars replied, and their response, and I think is why they call themselves the Sugars, is that they don't get at her, they don't bash her in any way. They just give her kind, empathetic advice. I decided when I started doing this that I would give advice like if I was giving advice to you all, to people who I like and consider friends in a way. I don't want to bash her. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be mean. But I want to be honest, because honesty is going to be the one thing that helps the person out. Like if you come to me and you ask me for advice, honesty is the only way you're going to actually get help in your life. Okay, so firstly, you're in your late 20s. You're not a child. You know the severity of what you're doing. You know the implications it could have. He's 13 years older than you. Because you're in your late 20s, I don't see this as a huge deal, but it is a plus for him, I can tell you that. He has his young tenderoni that he's making out with from time to time, and you have this dad, how you refer to him, that's 13 years older than you. And for what I can get from this little bit of information that you provided is that you're getting something from him that you need from a therapist or from someone else. It's not sexual for you, and so whatever he's giving you is not what you require from him, but you do need it just from somebody else. Okay, so you say that you guys are just making out, and you said you're doing nothing more than just making out, and it's torture. And I'm not sure if that means that you want to have sex, but I'm guessing that you are not going to have any sex, because it sounds like when you said that you're just making out and you say he's 13 years older and you are the babysitter, all these things point to a fantasy already created for him. So the fact that you're 13 years younger, his babysitter, and just making out, that sounds like a hot affair for him, like a hot, juicy scenario, like freaky shit for him. So I think that having sex might ruin it. If all he's doing is making out and he doesn't even attempt to like take off your pants and you know, then I'm guessing that is this is what gets him what turns him on. It's just making out with the babysitter, you know. That's the extent of the sexual affair that you're gonna have with him. I'm becoming someone I don't like. Well, that's because you're doing unlikable things. You are behaving in an unlikable way. If you met you, you wouldn't like you. You won't want to like this person who's making out with the guy that she babysits for. You are putting yourself in this family's circle of trust. You are in their home, in their personal sacred space, and violating everybody, wife and children. So of course you don't like yourself, but don't worry, you'll love yourself soon. You're jealous of his wife. So, okay, you said she's been nothing but nice to you, and I understand that. You're jealous of her, though, and I never understand that. I never understand why a side chick gets jealous of the wife or the girlfriend. I never could get that, because she doesn't have the better end of the deal. He's betraying her with you. Why are you jealous? Because you think he loves her and he doesn't love you. You're not in this affair for the love. And if he's telling you that, then it's a mess. But that's a whole nother story, because you have not said that at all in this letter. I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes, because if you start feeling like bad inside, like you said, you're becoming someone you don't like. 1, 2. Now you're jealous of his wife. I'm thinking you're seeing yourself as a side piece, as maybe a whore or something like that. And that's why you're becoming jealous, because she's this clean version. You know, she's a clean version of something. Like I said, I can never understand why the side piece gets jealous. All I can say is he's betraying her. She's no better off than you are. Don't let a ring fool you. That's the I don't even wear my ring. I'm not saying that I don't wear it because it doesn't mean anything. Well, right now I don't wear it because it doesn't fit me anymore. I don't know what happened. My hands are skinny again, but my bone, it doesn't pass my bone. But yeah, like, don't let a ring fool you. Not if you're the wife and not if you're the side piece. Rings are just rings. A married person cheats. A married person could be a piece of shit. Married couples are not all happy. That is a big ass lie. But yeah, keep in mind that you are being used, and so is his wife. You know, guys use their wife too. That's why they don't leave them. She cooks, she cleans, she gives him hugs and kisses and tell him I love you, you know. Don't let it fool you. I know where they keep their condoms, and I count them obsessively to know if they've had sex. That is the weirdest shit I've read, because yes, they've had sex. They are married. They have children. They've proven they have sex. Why would he not have sex with her? That's what a lot of people, immature people, naive people, don't understand about affairs. You are one person he's having sex with or seeing or making out with, whatever the scenario is. There could be tons more of you. He could have another girl that he likes for something else. He could have his wife that he likes for something else. He is having sex with his wife, most likely. Don't counter things. Don't go in their drawers. That's weird. So you wanted to tell his wife about the affair, but you know it's not really for her, right? Like, she deserves to know, but if she deserves to know, then she also deserves for you not to have your tongue down her husband's throat. So it's more about hurting him, which always happens. I've seen it a million times, on TV especially. You want to tell his wife because you want to hurt him. So don't do that. Don't ever do that. That's wrong. Like, don't hurt this woman's feelings just to hurt this asshole that she happens to be married to. And you said you want to hurt him because he's hurt you, but you haven't mentioned how he's hurt you. If he's hurt you by just making out with you and not taking it any further, he's not hurting you. He's just doing what he does in an affair. He's having an affair. That's it. There's nothing that ever says, oh, this affair is going to lead to love and marriage. So I don't see how he's hurting you unless you kept it out of this letter. And you don't want that, okay? You don't want him to leave his wife for you. You don't want to be with him. You don't want a life with him. And who would? Who would want to be with a guy that deads his family for them? He becomes a bitch ass, in my opinion. You don't want that. He uses me like a toy he plays with and sets aside. Exactly. He's using you to get off. You are a toy that he plays with and sets aside. That's the whole point of an affair, is to have fun. I'm scared that I love him. Nope, you don't love him. Rejection fools with your emotions. Somehow, it's science. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I think that's my fantasy job. Like, in another world, in another lifetime, I think I would like to be a scientist. I just want to learn about things. I feel like when I look at scientists on TV, they're so excited about their life, and they reject all the bullshit that people fall pressure to, like consumerism. And another big way to realize that you don't love him is that you want to ruin his life by telling his wife about your affair. When you love someone, even if you're having an affair with them, you don't want to ruin their life. That's how love works. And you haven't mentioned something that makes him lovable, like a reason that you love him. Oh, he's so kind to me. He's so sweet to me. He loves me. He takes care of me. He has my back. He soothes me when I'm crying. He, you know, I can open up to him and he listens to all of my pain and he responds with empathy. None of that. All of that is out of here. So I don't think you love him. I don't think he's giving you reason to love him. You say you love the children and you can't imagine not seeing them. You don't love the children. And you can't imagine not seeing them. You'll miss them for 2 weeks tops and you'll be fine after that. Go to the bar, have a drink with your friends. But you don't love them the way that you think you love them. You care about them, sure, you spend time with them, you bathe them and you took them to the park, but you don't love them like you think you love them. You could definitely have a life without them. I'll give you 2 weeks to stop thinking about them. Okay, the last part is the part that really freaks me out, and I don't have the range to give advice when it comes to this, because the way you refer to him as the dad, I think is odd. And I think that maybe you need to talk to your father. I don't know, but you said no one makes me feel the way the dad does. I would have just said no one makes me feel the way this guy does, or mentioned his name or something, but referring to him as the dad is awkward and strange, and it's out of my range. So that is it for this advice video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I have to get myself to work now. Let me know what you thought about the article. Let me know what you thought about my advice and my perspective on this. What would you say to her? Thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Peace.